Confident WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the name Larry Holmes. The record there before you. Statistically, he has proved himself, still unbeaten, and in the distance, maybe with a chance of beating Rocky Marciano's record for consecutive wins. But tonight, he must go against Leon Spinks in defense of his crown. ABC Sports presents live from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan. The number 2 rated heavyweight contender, Leon Spinks, against the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes, in a battle for the WBC World Heavyweight Championship. And Michael Dokes, heavyweight, unbeaten against the European heavyweight champion, John Gardner, in an important 10-round bout.
This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Pontiac, inviting you to test drive a new Pontiac soon, including the new generation J2000 for 1982. By Gillette Atra, the pivoting head razor. It's Gillette's best shave. And by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
This is the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Panoramic shot of it. They are dedicating the arena in memory of Joe this very night. The fights have been held here previously. The great Brown Bomber, maybe the greatest heavyweight who has yet lived. His wife and children here tonight, and so it figures to be a festive occasion. Hello again, everyone. It's good to have you with us. We hope we've got some exciting boxing for you tonight, but in truth, only time will tell. Of course, it'll be Holmes against Spinks, who himself was once the heavyweight champion of the world. But right now, we're getting ready for an important 10-round bout, and it'll be the European champion, John Gardner, against unbeaten Michael Dokes, and my friend of 30 years will be calling that fight for you. Veteran boxing announcer, Chris Schenker.
30 years. Well, that went as fast as our bout's going to start. We're ready to go. Both fighters, John Gardner, the European champion, is in the ring in the far left corner, and Michael Dokes is in the near right corner. And this is a scheduled 10-round bout. The referee is Tom Briscoe, and they're boxing under the Michigan.
You're looking at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Formally dedicated, in point of fact, just a few short moments ago. In that arena, fighting tonight, will be this man in defense of his WBC heavyweight championship of the world, Larry Holmes, the opponent, Leon Spinks. Larry, as you fight Spinks, is perhaps Jerry Cooney lurking in the background of your mind? Are you looking past Leon?
I'm not looking past Leon. I work very hard for Leon Spinks. Leon is a competitor, and he's going to be there. So I'm not looking past Leon Spinks. But it comes a time when we all say, what's next? So if it's possible, a Jerry Cooney could be next.
I must say, you're in the best condition I've seen you in literally in years. 212 pounds. Why work so hard for this opponent?
Well, Howard, I feel like I need to work again, and I got the desire to work, and I feel good about boxing. I feel good about this fight.
Can you take Spinks seriously? What in his background would lead you to?
Yes, I can take Spinks seriously because the things that they said I cannot go by, because I've seen him fight. I know that he's going to be out there giving every minute, every second of everything he got. So I'm going to be ready for whatever Leon has to offer.
But he's never fought a man like you. When he fought Ali, Ali was a shell of himself. You've got a 5-inch reach advantage. What's he going to do?
I think Leon would try to get inside. He would try to work to my body. A lot of people think I got a weak body. But that's what Leon's going to make his mistakes, because he's going to have to get past the jab, and then when you get past the jab, the right will come and the right uppercut will come. I think I can take Leon out before the 15th round.
Before the 50?
Before the 15th round, Leon will fall.
Should be very quick, don't you think?
I would like it to be in 30 seconds, however, because I'm not in the advertising business. But I don't think I'm going to get that lucky. I think Leon is a little bit better fighter than that. And I think this is one fight he will be up for, because any fighter who fights for the heavyweight title gets up more than they would get up for an ordinary fight.
Still haunted by the absence of recognition, especially after the Berbick fight?
No, I'm not hunted after that. Only the critics puts that burden on me. But I've been fighting well. I've been on ABC many times, and Howard, you have given my just dues, and that's all I worry about. I'm happy with what I got and happy with what I've done.
Still looking forward to retirement? This fight, hopefully Cooney, and that's it?
It's a good possibility.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, Howard, old buddy.
And so Larry Holmes, and you can see how totally relaxed and confident he is. To use an earlier phrase, he is ready for Leon Spinks, who gets a chance for a second time. Now we'll return to the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit after this commercial message. The Holmes-Spinks fight. I hope you're all back at work soon. I know it's what every...
This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by Pontiac.
Live at ringside, the Joe Louis Arena, being dedicated today in memory of the Brown Bomber. You look at it, the arena possibly half full. They had to reduce ticket prices to get this many people here. Leon Spinks and Larry Holmes will be shortly coming into the ring. Leon, the man of the checkered life, let's meet him up close and personal. In the backdrop there, the gateway arch of the city of St. Louis, Missouri, a symbol of hope for the future, the city of Leon Spinks, but in the foreground, the very ghetto area where Leon grew up. It was known as the Pruitt Ego Project, and they dynamited it some years back into oblivion. You grow up in a background like that, with your father gone, your mother on welfare, one of many children. Troubles are bound to come early, and that happened to Leon Spinks. But he used his only tools, his fist, to suddenly burst into national prominence. That happened in 1976, the Forum in Montreal, for the gold against the great Cuban fighter, Sisto Soria. Watch this right lead. There it was, and Soria was done away with, and there was joy for Spinks, who came still further in February of 78. He became the heavyweight champion of the world, defeating the legend Muhammad Ali. After that troubles, and Leon Spinks ruminates about what happened.
Well, I was the happiest man on earth. I was just ready to live life just like everybody else. But being a heavyweight champion didn't let that be like that. So it brought a whole lot of obligations for me to do, and I didn't know then. So I had a lot of trouble during that year.
A lot of troubles was an understatement. A drug charge. He was acquitted of that. Endless traffic violations, lawsuits. He threw everything away.
Out in the world, too much for my nerves. Well, only myself to blame. See, I was just a boy, and there was nobody else to blame. Worked hard and failed. Now all I can say is I threw it all away. Oh, I was just a boy, giving it all away.
He lost his title back to Ali in September of 78. An easy victory for Ali, and Spinks was back nowhere. For 9 months he disappeared, then the attempted comeback at Monte Carlo against Harry Coetzee of the Republic of South Africa, this in the first round, and it seemed that Spinks' career was totally over. But even after this disastrous defeat, where he burst into tears there in the ring, he hung on and came back. Won 4 fights in a row, including this one against the #1 rated WBC heavyweight contender. That's how he got his title shot. Victory in the 9th round. Where has he been training for the title shot? Not in the old haunts, but up in the woods of central Michigan, near the little town of Harrietta, population 192. His only disco music is radio, as he works the ring and works the ring, trying to get back the kind of competitive urge that brought him the gold in Montreal in '76 when he beat a more polished fighter, strictly on the basis of competitive drive. Now a second chance for Leon Spinks, and he knows it.
I'm just going to devote more of my time to what my job is about. I'm gonna be what the people want, what a champ is supposed to be.
Leon Spinks, up close and personal, as noted earlier, a checkered life. Again, you're looking at a panoramic shot of the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan, and there in his dressing room is Larry Holmes working up a sweat, getting ready to come out into the ring and to defend against Leon Spinks. Larry Holmes, the man with the great statistics, but the man eternally questing for public recognition. Why? Let's look at his boxing history. Remember this, it's when Larry Holmes won his heavyweight title, a near classic fight against Kenny Norton, both fighters utterly exhausted at the finish. As the champion, Holmes has never gotten recognition because of the supposed lesser quality of his opponents. Defenses began with this one, Alfredo Evangelista, the Spanish Bull, November of '78, and the Bull went down in round 7, right there. Then another unknown from Puerto Rico, Ozzy Ocasio, March of '79. And this one, too, ended in round 7. Ocasio awkward but not skilled. And then Mike Weaver, June of '79. By round 11, Holmes in trouble. Some felt that he wanted to quit. But Holmes showed something in that fight. Comeback capacity. Near the end of the 11th, that right uppercut felled Weaver, and the fight ended early in the next round. Against Ernie Shavers, another scare, September of '79. This was in round 7, too. Watch. And down went Holmes. But he got up quickly enough, and by round 11, it was over for Ernie Shavers. He had taken a fearful beating. Then in February of 1980 against Lorenzo Zanone. This one ended in round 6, but Holmes did not fight well. And then against the heavy Leroy Jones, who took a terrific pummeling, the end came in round 8, right there. After that, an absolute farce in Minneapolis against Scott Ledoux. It was target practice for Larry Holmes, and that ended in the 7th round. Then, the unfortunate sight of Muhammad Ali in October of 1980 in Las Vegas. Helpless as Holmes peppered him. This was 9th round action. Ali did not come out for the 11th. Then the most recent defense against Trevor Berbick, April of 1981. Holmes won with ease, but couldn't put Berbick away, creating further doubts in some minds about Larry. But statistically has been brilliant, up there with the greatest, and indeed has an outside chance to surpass even Rocky Marciano in consecutive winning streak. And finally, in each and every fight, Holmes rarely gives the opponent more than one round. No, he has been, I think, solid and respectable in the face of his boxing history. And so back in the Joe Louis Arena, and a look at Larry Holmes. And in this arena tonight, a young man named Jerry Cooney dreaming of fighting Holmes. But Holmes must do it one fight at a time. And I think Larry's experienced enough to know that at age 32, he must defeat Leon Spinks here tonight. In the meantime, we're expecting Spinks to emerge any minute from his dressing room. Interestingly, Leon, as we took the air tonight, we would open with a live shot of Leon in his dressing room. But he hadn't even gotten to the arena yet. He arrived late. An index, again, to the errant ways, perhaps, of Leon Spinks through the past years. And yet, maybe he did it tactically to make Holmes wonder if he could about where Leon was. Meantime, we still haven't seen It'll be somewhere in the area of 12 to 14,000 people. That is Michael Spinks in the cap, and behind him, brother Leon. Michael perhaps on his way to winning the light heavyweight crown with Leon's hands on his shoulders. Michael, a tremendously fine fighter. Leon, at 225 pounds, seems beautifully conditioned. He has never been a fighter possessed of polished boxing skills. Never. He didn't have that at Montreal when he won the gold. What he had was the deepest competitive drive you could ever want to see in a fighter. And I think he carries that drive with him tonight. We'll be back in Detroit in a moment. Back at Joe Louis Arena, in the ring, Leon Spinks, the crowd noise rising. Larry Holmes about to join him. There comes Larry Holmes. He is 32, Spinks is 27. He has a 5-inch edge in reach. So Leon Spinks will have to probably try to do what Larry Holmes said in the interview earlier seen with Larry. Keep charging, somehow get inside. But can he avoid the punishment of the Holmes jab, a stinging, jarring jab? Or can he keep Holmes moving, because Larry's jab is most effective when he can stand flat-footed and just pour it in there, double and triple on it. We'll see. 15 rounds scheduled for 10-point must system. The crowd begins to roar. WBC rules, 3 judges, and they will score the fight. The referee will not have a voice in the scoring. No saving by the bell except in the last round. It's a big ring. Holmes should be able to use it beautifully. Look at how fast those hands are. That's his greatest talent. Foot and hand speed. Great side-to-side or lateral movement. 20 feet 6 inches, so much room to negotiate. The referee, Richard Steele, a good man, a young man, but a veteran man. There is the Leon Spinks ring record. Richard Steele from Los Angeles, the 3rd man in the ring. The judges, all veteran boxing judges. Harold Letterman of New York, Rudy Ortega of Oakland, California, and Hank Elespinu of Sacramento, California. Spinks just introduced to the crowd. And he's here in Detroit often, though he says he will always call St. Louis home, but he's got a host of fans here.
212 1/4 pounds. From Easton, Pennsylvania, the undefeated Easton Assassin, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes.
The crowd favorite within the arena, obviously Leon Spinks. Larry Holmes from Easton, Pennsylvania, the home of the Lafayette Leopards, Lafayette College. The Easton Assassin, they call Holmes in the pugilistic vernacular. And instructions now to both fighters from referee Richard Steele. Spinks nodding and looking down. Holmes looking squarely at Spinks. The tail of the tape, the key factor, the difference in reach. What an edge for Holmes. We await the start of action, the bell for round 1. 12-pound weight advantage for Holmes, but that's not consequential. The bell. Larry quickly trying to use the left jab. And moving. Spinks pursuing. He can be wild, he is unpolished, but he can be dangerous. Witness his knockout of Bernardo Machado in the 9th round, when Machado was top-rated WBC contender, and that's what got Leon this shot. Holmes Holmes is not and never has been a one-punch knocker out. On his 37 victories, he has scored almost 30 knockouts. A good right by Larry Holmes. Spinks' problem, how to get in there and do some damage. And the problem comes up early. Minute 10 seconds into the first round. Larry has that big ring to use. Spinks getting in, trying to maul and brawl. Who give Spinks an excellent chance. Larry with a good right lead caught Spinks in the head. Will Grimsley of the AP, veteran bulldogging boxing reporter, has picked Spinks to win. Michael Katz of the Times gives him an excellent chance of the New York Times. With 2 minutes into round one, crowd yelled, but Holmes' glove picked off the Spinks glove. Skillfully, at this point, winning the round. Spinks trying to be all over him, pursuing him. It excites the crowd. But it's Holmes who does most of the score. Saw the wild right up on the shoulder. That did get to Holmes, but it won't hurt him there. The end of round one at hand. In Detroit, ringside, round two just underway. Holmes, in my view, won the first round, but Holmes has a tendency to rattle, and the wildness of Spinks may do just that. At times, he lost his cool against Trevor Berbick, not a noteworthy opponent. Spinks far more dangerous than Berbick. 30 seconds into round two. Leon bobbing and weaving and trying to get inside. Long left, only a glancing blow. By the time it landed, Richard Steele, the third man in the ring. Los Angeles, California. Good, quick referee, keeps position well. Two good lefts by Holmes.
5 breaks, step back, don't hold.
Holmes swinging him around, spinning Spinks off. With a superior height and reach, he almost dwarfs Spinks, or it looked that way at the weigh-in even more than it does in the ring. Spinks connected there. He had Holmes against the ropes and he connected. His best connection of the night. The second time Ali fought Spinks, when he won easily, you saw the good right land on Spinks. Ali began putting his punches together in the fourth round. Throughout the fight, he outmuscled Spinks, using his superior size and upper body strength to maul him all over the ring. Holmes has not tried to do that. Holmes, a man who uses movement. 50 seconds left in round two. Better round for Spinks than round one. He got in a good blow to the Holmes midsection. Holmes has not been able to fight his fight. In this round, Spinks is fighting his fight. And Holmes missed. He's a touch rattled. The wildness of Spinks is troubling. The there was a mistaken bell. There was a mistaken bell that caused Holmes to pause, and Spinks took advantage. One. Now they're teeing off together. In one corner, the seconds got into the ring thinking the round had ended. It will end right now, but Spinks in control at the end. We're back live. Holmes waiting for Spinks in the middle of the ring. William Hunter, the timekeeper, clanged his bell 25 seconds before the legitimate end of round 3. That put Holmes off guard. Spinks took advantage. Spinks had Holmes clearly rattled. Now Holmes comes out to fight. So far, Spinks has shown that he is, well, he's never been afraid of anybody in his life, and we may have a good fight here. Holmes an overwhelming favorite, of course. But Spinks an awkward, troublesome guy. No, that's a slip. Quickly, Richard Steele over it. Holmes pushed Spinks off, and Steele right on top of the action. Spinks making the fight and rattling Holmes, who's not fighting with a great deal of self-possession. We're a minute into the round. Surprising to see Larry lose his cool. Oh, a good left to the belly, then he doubled to the head. Excellent. Holmes knows he's in a fight. That's how wild Spinks is. Leaning all over Holmes, halfway falling down, and Holmes is now scoring heavily against Spinks. Now he's fighting boxing basics. He's scoring. That left to the belly hurts Spinks. Spinks is getting it. He hasn't been able to get away from the ropes, and Holmes is really teeing off on him. Has him measured. You see the left measuring him, then the right, and then the left, and Spinks is ready to go, and goes very quickly. Larry Holmes got to him and took total command just as quickly as he had seemed rattled. Spinks up, now concluded, and back comes Holmes, and Spinks is dazed, bewildered. He's stuck in the corner, the worst place for him to be, but the movement has gone from his legs, and if Holmes now measuring, the key to this, don't lose your head, work the opponent, don't try to put him away too soon, leave yourself open. He is just killing him, and the fight is stopped that quickly. Towel thrown in. Towel thrown in, the fight stopped, and it's over for Leon Spinks. And this may be the end of the Leon Spinks career. Larry Holmes actually troubled in the second round, having won the first round easily. Steele says the towel had nothing to do with it. He stopped it on his own. You can't stop a championship fight with a towel from the corner. So Richard Steele has said that he stopped it on his own, and he did the right thing, the referee did. Let's look at it again. Spinks stuck against the ropes right near the corner, virtually in the corner. And Holmes going at him, teeing off on him. Spinks utterly out, really. Got up from that, but went down again, and it was stopped. This, again, the replay. See the way he measured him with his left and then came through with the, look at that right uppercut, and that right. So Larry Holmes, 38 fights, 38 victories. They can say what they want about the quality of the opposition when it comes to Holmes, but he hasn't picked them. He's fought virtually everybody around. Next in line, Jerry Cooney and a kid named Greg Page. That's the way.
Not by any punches, but rather by a butt. A gladiator, here's a part of that whole look. Throwback. And a coin tucked into his laces on his right shoe. I'll have to ask him about that.
It must be a sentimental piece.
Meanwhile, let's get up now to the ring announcer, Chuck Hull. We'll get the introduction to the fighters, and we'll get on with this. Chuck?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Las Vegas Hilton Sports Arena, where tonight Don King Productions, in association with the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel and Miller Lite, presents the Hard Road to Glory, Destination Ultimate. These bouts are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Dwayne Ford, chairman. Commissioners at ringside are Mr. Sig Rogich, Herb Santos, Sammy Macias, and Freddie Little. And the executive director of that commission is Harold Buck. Representing the WBC at ringside, the president of that organization, Senor Jose Suleiman, and the supervisor, Mr. Spider Bynum of Texas. Representing the WBA at ringside is Mr. Nick Carriasados. The judges appointed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for this, the next event of the evening, are Dalby Shirley of Nevada, Gordon Volkman of Illinois, and Harry Gibbs of England. The timekeeper is Mike Lachella. Counting at the knockdowns, Al Bisick. The attending physicians at ringside, Drs. Flip Pomansky, Donald Romeo, and Elias Gahneman. And your referee is Carlos Padilla. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA, WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Introducing, in the blue corner, fighting out of West Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 217 3/4 pounds, with a professional record of 29 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw, and 24 KOs. He's rated #1 in the world by the WBC and is a former champion of that organization. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Pinky Thomas.